And I went to prison for 5 years. When I got out of prison in 2003, I paid child support from that day until just February of last year when I lost my job.
Only because they garnished your wages.
Absolutely, that's what they do. And I actually asked my public defender, where's the proof? I've yet to see proof that the child's mine.
Mr. Manser, you are not
Oh, God.
his father.
You know, guys, it's absolutely terrible what's happening to men in Western society right now. Men are having their lives ruined. Women are taking everything from men, and as a result, men are now deciding not to get married, not to have children, and instead to focus on themselves and their own happiness. Instead of simply walking away, a lot of men are choosing to simply go their own way. Today's video comes from Entrepreneur in Cars. His channel will be linked in the description of the video so that you can go check him out and support him. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of men choosing no longer to marry, no longer to date, and refusing to live with women going forward. This is a major situation that is going to have extraordinary implications into the future. Don't forget to follow us on Rumble. Our Rumble is linked in the description of the video. And guys, don't forget to check out Angry's Crypto Academy. Hard times are coming. ATMs will stop working. Banks will chain the doors. Protect your wealth and safeguard your future with crypto. Angry's Crypto Academy will teach you how to buy, sell, trade, and invest in crypto. We'll tell you exactly which coins will mint you millionaires and how to spot potential coins to invest in. Don't miss out. The Academy is linked in the description of the video. And while you're over there, guys, go and check out the crypto trading blueprint for dummies. It's available in Angry's Crypto Academy as well. And with this blueprint, you'll learn how crypto trading can help you earn daily profits, even starting small. Imagine making $30 a day while trading only $100 or even hundreds daily, trading small amounts like $500, working just an hour a day. It's written so simply that even a fifth grader can do it. With banks collapsing and the economy in chaos, this skill is your lifeline. Click the link in the description to check it out now. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
Genuine burning desire, as I describe it in chapter 3 of my book, will decline. I invite you to take a look around at the people in your life that are married, that are in long-term relationships, that are living together, a combination of any of those things. And I want you to, if you want to go through the exercise anyway, just jot down, are they happy or not? It should be reasonably obvious to you if you've known somebody or a couple for quite a few years, whether or not they're happy or they're unhappy with one another. They make it very obvious when you're at social gatherings, at Thanksgiving, birthdays, things like that, whether or not they are in love or obsessed with one another, like in a state of bliss, in a state of love. And they've done studies on this, and I've talked about this before on my channel. Over the course of about 8 odd years, less than 12% of people that are together are still identifying as in love. Less than 3% say that they're in a state of bliss, like they're obsessed with one another. So the chances of you being happily together with a woman over a long-term basis is quite low. And I think one of the reasons for that is that men and women, more specifically brought on by women, sometimes by men because they might not be financially secure and they think it's a good idea to share living expenses and to commingle things, start living together. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, I don't know a lot of people that live together, that are in long-term relationships, marriages, however you want to define it, that are in a state of happiness even with one another. Most of them are pretty annoyed. Most of them are in some cases disgusted or have been disgusted by the other person. And I've said this before in prior videos, disgust is basically the countdown to the end of a relationship. If she ever exhibits distaste, disgust for you, for anything that you're doing or have done, that's never a good sign. It never really happens in long-term relationships where there's a healthy connection, there's a healthy bond, where there's a healthy level of respect. It only happens when it's counting down towards the end of the relationship.
All right, something I want to add to this point that's very important is that this is not exclusive to a boyfriend and girlfriend living together. It's not exclusive. It's really not exclusive in a sense that, oh, well, hey, if you're going to get married, it's going to be significantly different. That's absolutely incorrect. In fact, in many cases, and this is my own personal observation, when the relationship truly goes downhill is when they finally tie the knot and they make it official, and now they're married. There are so many people who live together and even have children, and they were doing well. And I know some of you guys know what I'm talking about. And they were doing well for like 20 years. And then suddenly they decided that they're going to get married and make it official. And that's when the relationship began to fall apart. That's when jealousy began to really enter into the relationship. And a lot of it is more so on the side of the woman than it is on the side of the man. As men, we have to wake up and realize that monogamy in today's society and today's environment is not maintainable. It's not something maintainable or attainable for most men. Even when you go overseas, you have to understand that marriage is something you should not be not be doing. For example, if I ever do go back and get into a relationship, for me, I want a Japanese woman. Hands down, 100% want a Japanese girl. Those are the women that I like. Those are the women I resonate with. That's the culture that I resonate with the most. And for much of my life, I've had very close Japanese friends or Japanese best friends. So it's kind of a normality for me. I understand their culture very well. And of course, I can always understand better, but I understand their culture quite well. And my own personality and behaviors are very much in line with the Japanese personalities and characteristics. I can decipher them pretty well. But for me, going over there, I will not be getting married. It doesn't matter how wonderful the woman is. I'm not going to take the risk. I just I don't want to be tied down. And I think that's how it is for a lot of men, most men today. While we are capable of monogamy, it's not something that is as natural as we believe. It's something that we were conditioned to do. Where the notion was, well, because this was what happened with the Industrial Revolution. This is what happened during the baby boomer era, where men were told that if they give everything to the state, if they give everything to their country, they'll be given a house, a status, a wife, children, the little damn dog, the damn dog that won't stop barking at night, but you still love the damn thing. You'll be given a family. You'll be given a relatively comfortable life if you give everything for your country. And that's what a lot of men did. And they were betrayed by their country. They were betrayed by the state. They were lied to. And now women basically extracted wealth and resources from men, everything from men, using the state. And men are basically left disenfranchised. If you look at men today in Western society, if anything, it did not, when it came to public assistance, the only thing that happened with public assistance is that it expanded. There was a test run in the African American community, and then they expanded it to all communities, and every woman basically took it, and they're all using it. They're all using the system so that they can go around and say that I'm a strong, independent woman and I don't need no man, because now the state just takes the money away from us through taxation and then reallocates it and redistributes it to women and their children, and basically everyone gets a cut. That's why I said what ends up happening is that women, in exchange for working as agents of the state, they are then given access to the resources of men. So they are given special privileges and resources, while men are given special punishments and taxes. That's how it works. That's honestly how it works. And that's one of the reasons why simps have betrayed society, have betrayed men, because in exchange for betraying men, they are given access to spaces and opportunities that would originally or initially only be given to women. I want you guys to look at the modern audience. Look at these companies where they've gone woke and now they're, hiring only certain people. If you haven't really picked up on it yet, they're not mostly just hiring women. They're hiring certain kinds of women. They're hiring women who identify with with a certain agenda, with a certain community, with the rainbow community, with certain beliefs and ideologies that are very leftist. And it's not just leftist, it's another shade of leftist as well. You have to be a part, yeah, an ally. Look at the kinds of men who are hired at these companies. These are all simps. So the reality is you don't see a bunch of black people, black men, or black women, or white women necessarily taking these jobs. The reality is that it's a specific group of people that are getting access to these jobs that are a part of the woke agenda. I'm being very honest with you. so a lot of these modern women, they didn't realize that they were betrayed. They think that they are privileged. They think that they're doing great. They don't understand that they sold their futures for instant gratification in the present. They basically, they don't realize how much they gave up. They don't realize how much they lost. Back in the, just 50 years ago, a woman would have the entire house for herself. She had her, the man was taking care of the house. He would go out, make the money. She had the house. She didn't have to pay for electric. She did not have to be afraid in the evening, worrying that someone's, there's someone at the door, someone downstairs. She didn't have to worry about those things. She had free time to do the things that she wanted to do. She had a family. She had children. However, women were conditioned to believe that they needed to have a great grand adventure. And to do this, they needed to be independent. That's why they had the whole Miss Independent stuff. Guys, don't you realize that all that garbage in the hip hop community was paid for and sponsored by the state, by the government? Okay, pushing this disgusting type of music and disgusting type of rhetoric. Look at the type of people that they promote, like Cardi B with WAP. All right, what does WAP stand for? It stands for wet ass, and then P, which is for kitty, if you get what I'm saying. I'm not going to say it all out, but that's really what ended up happening. These are degenerate individuals, and that's what the state promotes because it wants women to go down that path, and women have mostly done that. And as a result of this, modern women are cooked. Women don't realize how cooked they are. Right now, guys, only 1 out of every 1,000 men are getting married. That's it. Guys, this is less than 1% of men. Less than 1% of men are now getting, like, these are psychotic numbers. All right. Marriage in Western society in the United States and in China, for example, is practically completely over, especially in China where they're demanding the bride price right now. They used to have a thing called red envelopes in China where red envelopes were given like during weddings, special occasions, Christmas, and a red end that it contained money. It was a gift. Bring a red envelope to something like a date was something was unacceptable because it would make the other person feel uncomfortable. It was not something you would give someone on a first date. Now, modern women in China, they demand a red envelope on the first date. Guys, if a woman demands money from you on the first date, that is not a woman that you're on a real date with. That's an escort. Okay? Think about this. They're demanding something like $100,000 right now, United States dollars, or 1 million United States dollars in China for the so-called bride price. Guys, this is what this is. Let's call it what it is. It's long-term escorting. All right? You're not marrying, and then they try to call it love. And a lot of the Chinese men, they're turning around now and becoming passport kings. They're realizing this is a load of crap. And a lot of these men are also talking about how dangerous relationships are and how relationships with modern women are damaging society because so many wars have been started throughout history because of women. Like entire nations have fallen over one woman. This is something that is very, very serious that men have to wake up to and realize. Like this is a very serious and very dangerous period in our history. You should not be focusing on a relationship. You should be focusing on going out there and getting your money. And as I've mentioned before to you guys, because I'm just going to tell you again a little bit about it, is the crypto trading crypto trading for dummies blueprint, which is available over in Anger's Crypto Academy. And with this blueprint, you basically learn how crypto day trading can help you earn daily profits. Even starting small, you can start off with you can start off with $100 a day, trading $100 a day and earning $30 a day, working only an hour a day, or you can trade, let's say, like $500 a day, and you'll make realistically around $100 to $200 a day trading that for about an hour. And you don't have to be a genius. There's these very simple strategies that you can use to do it. And the blueprint is written so simply that even a fifth grader can can do it. So with the banks collapsing and the economy in chaos right now, guys, this is a skill. This skill is your lifeline. So you can actually find the blueprint link description of the video. I mean, you have to be aware. You have to be aware, and not just, and one of the best places to start is also just like, if you don't know anything about crypto, you should start learning about crypto, how it works. You should not be going out there, running out there, looking for a wife, looking for a girlfriend, because they don't like you. You need to be like so clear. They don't like you. They really, really don't like you. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Modern women don't like us. They just want what we have. They just want us to do things for them. And then once they're done with us, they're done with us. It's a bad deal. That's why 90% of men are refusing to even live with women in Western society today, because they're finally realizing it's a bad deal, bro. It's a very bad deal. She never loved you. She just wants what you have. She just wants what you could. It's all about what you can do for her. It has nothing to do with you whatsoever. It's about your attention, your time, and your money. And finally, guys are starting to wake up and realize, it's just about money. It's just about money. Let me ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy, to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom. It's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now.
One of the contributing factors to the countdown of a relationship, to the end of it anyway, seems to be living together. So that is the main reason why I don't think it's a good idea to do it. I see certain scenarios where it would be a good idea, like if you're going to raise children, for example. And even then, I've seen lots of people where it's like, I'll take care of the bills and everything. You just live over there with the baby, and like I'll come around and visit. There's lots of guys that do that too, right? Where they don't even live with their kid's mom or their wife, whatever the setup happens to be, and they seem to be reasonably happy. It's just when you put a man and a woman under the same roof, in the same household, in the same space, you start getting on each other's toes. You leave something out that they don't like, you put something somewhere that they don't like, you start hearing a little bit of chirping about it. Hey Rich, I cleaned or I organized this cupboard, why can't you put things back where I told you to? This stuff will start to happen, and it happens on a more frequent basis, it happens on an escalating basis, and it creates a level of distaste for one another. Some people would argue, oh well, if you just find the right person or you have the same value system, it's impossible. You'll never find somebody else with identical values to you. I mean, unless you can clone yourself, and while you're at cloning them, you turn them into a female, obviously, if you're straight. But it's almost impossible for you to find somebody that shares identical values to you. So there's always going to be distinct and distinguished differences. We also live in a world today, by the way, where we've been told for decades now Men and women are the same. You're equal. You know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You know, we don't use the terms boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, and wives. You hear a lot of people use the term like partner. And, you know, this notion of an equal partnership where we're all the same, I think is incredibly destructive and incredibly bad for long-term relationships, because there's nobody that's leading anymore. There's nobody taking the lead. There's nobody taking ownership and having authority. And when you have two drivers in the driver's seat, bad shit starts to happen. It's just the way that it is. It's just the way that it's always been, and it will continue to be that way. And it's like, in frankness and in all honesty, it's a surprise to me anyway, that people take a look around at their family and friends and relatives and they think to themselves, oh, they're not having a good time. They really don't like each other that much. They don't bang that much. Let's go do the exact same thing that they're doing. I've said this many times before. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. The vast majority of people that live together end up in a situation or an environment or a feeling where it's not working out for them. You know, like they're confined. I feel like you're on my toes all the time. I'm incarcerated. I can't do this, or I'm walking on eggshells. You know, anybody that's been in a live-in long-term relationship has heard some version of that, or they know somebody that has heard some version of that. So that is the main reason why I don't like the notion of living with a woman. So chapter 3 in my book is genuine burning desire, and that's something that you'll have, or you should have, early on in the relationship. You know, she should express a strong desire for you. This is when, you know, like in the first little while of dating where you're not living together, you have separate places that you're staying at. You've got your thing, she's got her thing, you've got your extracurriculars, she's got her extracurriculars, whatever that happens to look like and be, you sort of like live your own lives, and that's just the way that, you know, that it is. And that tends to work out very, very well, you know, surprisingly. Surprise, shocking, right? You know, you have time apart. But the more time you spend together, the more you become familiar with the other person, the more, you know where they're at all the time. She knows where you're at all the time. She's not worried about you or other, gals looking at you. She's got her thumb on the pulse of your life, right? When you start spending more and more time together. And that becomes boring. Women get bored of familiarity. If you take a woman to the same place over and over again, she will complain about it. Oh, like, dude, you could own a private jet, and you could have a particular favorite ski resort in the Swiss Alps, for example. And if you take a chick to your favorite location or your favorite event in your private jet, driving up the mountain in your expensive, four-wheel drive SUV, costs you a few $100,000, eventually she'll say, this is boring. Why do we keep doing the same shit over and over again? Because it becomes too familiar. And that is the real issue when it comes to living together. It's like she knows where you're all the time, you know what your lives are all about, and it just becomes boring and comfortable and way too familiar. And that's not good for a long-term relationship. That's not good for genuine burning desire, and it's certainly not good for love. It's not good for the long term of any kind of relationship whatsoever. It is detrimental, and in my opinion, it is the countdown to the end of it.
And I went to prison for 5 years. When I got out of prison in 2003, I paid child support from that day until just February of last year when I lost my job.
Only because they garnished your wages.
Absolutely, that's what they do. And I actually asked my public defender, where's the proof? I've yet to see proof that the child's mine.
Mr. Manser, you are not
Oh, God.
his father.
Oh, man. 5 years in prison. Dylan, I'm sorry, bro. This is why. This is why I did what I did.
But this is nothing I made up. The lab did
You
it.
made it all up.
No, I did not.
Well, those results
I
apparently
don't know
are made
any
up.
of those people on that form.
Oh, my God.
This is clearly the most shocking
Very much.
news we've ever gotten in this courtroom.
Oh, my God. She should be convicted of some crime.
No, I should not. I didn't.
That is fraud.
Mr. Manser, Miss Sear, do you know?
Yes, ma'am.
You know who his father is.
Yes, I talk to him still.
You cannot stand there and really suggest that you cannot comprehend why this man would not have any type of ill feeling, frustration, or regret as it relates to anything involving you. 5 years in prison. And then I say, do you know who your son's father is? And you say, yes, I'm still in touch with him. That is a really huge pill to swallow. Dylan?
Doesn't happen in all scenarios, but on a balance of probabilities in a vast majority of cases, because we know over 8 years, less than 3% of people are still in a state of bliss. Most people are in a state of bliss at the get-go, at the kickoff, when she chooses you. So just keep that in mind, because some people will argue, they'll be in the comments right now, well, that's not true, I've been with my spouse, blah, 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 blah. It's like, cool, awesome story. Send me an email, and I'd love to have a long conversation with you.
You see, they don't want to have a conversation with him because they're simps. And they want to live in their delusional reality, because as long as their basic needs, their carnal needs are met, they want to pretend that everything is okay, and they want to lecture other men. That's how these men operate. They will drag you down to the pits of hell with them to validate their bad decisions, to validate their poor decisions. You want to know about paternity fraud? I was on X. Well, it's Twitter, but X. And I saw this, and this is absolutely shocking. This is, male spaces. Jamaican women have the highest paternity fraud. 62% of babies have the wrong dad. 62%, y'all. I mean, if that is not an overwhelming number, I don't know what else is. Okay? And that's what men are dealing with in Western society. This is the garbage that men are dealing with. This is only one of the major reasons why it's so important for men to avoid getting into these long-term committed relationships with modern women. You can have your girlfriend, you can have her, but do not be in a relationship where you don't have any freedom. Okay? These men, they will try to lecture you, they'll bring up God, they don't give a damn. Only after they've lost everything, they have lost, guys. They've lost $1 million. So many of these jokers come to me, after they've lost everything, and they expect kindness from me. And I will have told them years ago, don't do this, blah, blah, blah. And they laughed in my face, and then they come back to me with nothing. They're a bunch of bums now, and they want me to show them kindness, and they're still talking about Jesus. And it's like, bro, you were on that same BS. I told you to stay out of the church, all right? I told you there was no God in the church. You were just going there for entertainment and community. You did not listen to me, all right? You started spouting off and going crazy, and now look at what happened to you. You're a bum. You have absolutely nothing. She took everything from you. She took the house, she took the cars, she took the kids. She took half of everything that was in the account, and then you basically kept on paying her alimony, child support, until you had no resources left whatsoever, and then you ended up homeless. And now after she took all of that from you, guess what? She's flat broke. Your kids aren't doing well. She tossed them all out as soon as they turned 18, or in some cases they were taken away by foster care, although like maybe 1 or 2 of them are still with her, living on this, bouncing around from shelter to shelter, and you have nothing to show for it. And Uncle Angry told you not to do this, and you still decided to do it. And you're gonna look at me with that simp face of yours, like I didn't know any better. You didn't know any, guys. I've had so many men say this. I didn't know any better. I didn't have any control of myself. Stay away from these kinds of men. I have so many of these simps. I can't be held responsible for it. I did not have. They say I cannot be held responsible for it. I did not have control of myself. How foolish do you have to be to say something like that? That means that you don't have agency. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm telling you. This is the reason why, instead of focusing on relationships, you should be focusing on getting your money. And if you want a relationship, then you can go overseas and find someone overseas, but do not marry them. Under no circumstance, do not marry them, and do your very best to avoid getting them pregnant. And be careful when it comes to saying, oh, well, she's going to go on the pill, because you really never know. So understand, when you do that, you are basically flipping a coin. Okay? But if you're going to be in a relationship with a woman, it's best to do it overseas. 100%. And also, don't just think any country. You have to know the country's laws and rules, and be very careful, because some of them, like the Philippines, is changing it up. Like they're trying to introduce divorce. They're trying to introduce, make it easier for women to collect child support from a foreigner. So you have to be careful. You have to be conscious, because as men, that we live in a society that does not like us. Our society despises us. It hates us, and it sees us as its obstacle to getting its way. So while it needs us to survive, because men pay 80% of all taxes while women make 80% of all consumer purchases. When a woman passes away, when a man passes away, he will leave a surplus on the economy, meaning that he will have put more money into the economy than he took out over the course of his life, while women will leave a deficit on the economy, meaning she will have taken more money out of the economy than she put into the economy over the course of her life. Without us, the society cannot survive, but they want you to feel humiliated. They want you to be miserable. They want you to be just capable enough to keep on keeping things going so they can extract wealth and resources from you. But it's at this point where men are consciously know that society despises them, which is why men are dropping out of society, choosing not to work. They're doing day trading, day trading crypto, and basically just focusing on themselves, their relationship with God, playing video games and relaxing. Because when a man doesn't have a wife, a children, a family that's depending on him, and he doesn't have a legal responsibility to them, he can live a simple life of luxury. He lives far below his means, but because men are naturally minimalist, you can have everything you want. You give a guy a PlayStation, give a lot of guys a PlayStation 3, they're happy. PlayStation 2, they're happy. Super NES, they're happy. All right. A lot of men right now are happy with, like, literally some guys are happy with a Game Boy. All right. Some men don't even want any of those things. You're right. There's a lot of guys who just lay around all day. They have money. They don't play video games. They just lay around all day. They don't really listen to even music. They're laying in bed right now listening to this video, and they don't give it. These men, I don't understand. I'm not gonna lie, I don't understand these men at all, but they just basically they eat, sleep, relax, and poop, and then do it all again the next day. Like, it's insane. And because some of these men have, for example, they've been in the military, they did their 20 years in the military. Now they no longer have to work because they have, they got retirement after 20 years. They're good. Some men, they worked many years, they made a couple $100,000. They bought a condo or whatever. They live in a state where things don't really cost a lot, or they had bought a mobile home, or they were given a mobile home. They inherited something. There are a bunch of guys who inherit things from their parents, and they chose to go their own way years ago. So they never got married. They never had children. So the things that they inherited from their parents, they still have them. They inherited a house from their parents. They still have it. They inherited a mobile home from their parents. They still have it. And they're living in it. And they have everything they could want and everything they could need. And they need nothing else. And they want literally nothing. If there's something that they do everything themselves, because they have a surplus of time. And if there's something they cannot do, they simply hire someone to do it for them. And they're extremely comfortable. You see, a woman will want a big mansion. A man, on the other hand, he thinks he wants these things, but the only reason why he wants these things is because he's trying to attract a woman. I remember, I think it was 50 Cent, old thug 50 Cent. He went and he bought, like, I don't know if it was like a mansion from Mike Tyson or one of these people. He bought this big mansion, had lots of rooms in it, and it was a giant mansion. And he said that he was scared in there. Old thug 50 Cent, get rich or pass away trying 50 Cent, bought this giant mansion, and he was frightened in there. It was eerie in there. It was lonely in there. It took a lot for him to realize, when you are not chasing a woman, when you're not trying to entertain women, what are you doing with this stuff? You're a man. Men are minimalist by nature. We don't want to be stressed out with all this garbage walking. There's some idiot guys who are like, oh, I want that. I want to walk around and look at all the rooms, and oh my gosh, I own all of this and blah, blah. You own all of it. So now you're going to have to take care of it and maintain it and upkeep it and pay all the property taxes on it and hire someone to come and do this and this and on the property. No, I can do it myself. Okay. So you're going to do all of this. You're going to do all of these things on a regular basis and spend all of your time doing this. Yes, exactly. You're a fool. Most guys a lot of these men, they're simps and they're arrogant, and they're too arrogant to be honest. And they'll be arrogant until the very moment they pass away, because they don't have masculine energy. They have feminine energy. And because they have feminine energy, you can't reason with these jokers. You 100% cannot reason with them. A smart man right now will be focusing on his money, getting his money up, like I said, guys, things are going downhill. We are going to, guys, when Elon gets in there, because he's already there now, but once they start showing us what's really been going on and how our money's really being spent, and the fact that and people start to understand, like, hey, your money is not worth what you think it is, guys, we're gonna have a massive crash. Trump can't stop this. All right. And that's when you're going to see layoffs again. All this, guys, it's going to happen under Trump. It's more than, guys, we're going to have extraordinary economic chaos. History will repeat itself. Okay. And you're going to have people who are going to large amounts of unemployment, and the best, and everything is going to be crypto. Everything is going to be crypto. You know, something big that happened recently? It just happened at just a little before making this video. The SEC just changed the rule where basically banks have to treat crypto as like debt or something like that. And they just changed the rule that was preventing banks from being able to easily hold crypto. And now they changed it. They got rid of that. So now banks and institutions can go and hold crypto and engage in crypto services. Institutional investors are going to be rushing in to get into crypto. And I keep talking about this because I want you guys to be okay, and I want you to be secure, and I want you to understand you won't have this opportunity again. Okay? You won't have this opportunity again. It's going to be, guys, it's going to be a nightmare out there. You guys, you're going to say, damn, Angry said this. When the banks chain their doors and the ATM stop working and your 401k says not accessible, all right? What are you going to do? You're going to think about Angry, and then you're going to cry. And there's some of you idiots who are like, well, Trump said that, because, Trump says that homelessness is now going to be a crime. And if you're homeless, you're going to be arrested, institutionalized, or put in tent city. And you guys were like, no, Angry, that's only the bad homeless people. That's only the criminals. The ones who don't commit crimes will be fine. We can be homeless on the streets and sleep on the streets as long as we don't mess with anyone. You freaking idiots. Let me tell you all about Tent City. Tent City is going to be hell. And when you go into Tent City, you don't come out of Tent City. They're going to say, I want to come out of Tent City. Really? And what were you doing out there on there? What were you doing? You were not doing anything, all right? If we let you out of here, you're just going to be out there right back on the street. Do you have a plan? Do you have family that you can call? Do you have anything? Do you have a job lined up? No. But, can you even day trade? Yes, I can. Okay, how do you day trade? What do you day trade? Listen to me. You're talking a bunch of nonsense. Listen to me. You need to go sit over there, be quiet, eat your rations, and calm yourself down. All right. Listen. You know what I'll do? I'll give you you want a bottle of water? I'll give you a bottle. I'm not supposed to do this. All right, because you're only supposed to get 2 bottles of water every day. I'm gonna give you an extra bottle of water. All right. Go sit yourself down. I see that you're crying. I know. It's hard. It's hard being here. It's like incarceration, but you're gonna get used to it, little bro, because you're not going anywhere. Okay, you're not stronger than me. You're not stronger than us. Okay, that's how the 10 city agents are gonna talk. That's how. All right, it's gonna be a bunch of big, all right, big black, white, Hispanic, Asian. Yes, you got some real big Asian men out there. All right. Officials working in there and keeping y'all locked up in there. All right. Some of y'all black guys like, oh, you walk up to the black dude like, hey, brother, what's going on, brother? They're going to look at you like, what do you want? I just want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. Move on. Keep it moving. All right. Keep it moving. And then you start trying to run in your mouth, and they're going to call you a bum to your face. I said, and keep it moving, bum. Oh gosh, some of y'all are gonna be in Tent City. I just want to tell you a little bit about the Crypto Trading for Dummies blueprint. With this blueprint, you'll learn how crypto day trading can help you earn daily profits, even starting small. Imagine making $30 a day with $100, or even hundreds daily trading small amounts. Working just an hour a day. It's written so simply that even a 5th grader can do it. With banks collapsing and the economy in chaos, this skill is your lifeline. Click the link in the description to check it out now. Now, one really cool thing that's happening is we actually have a sale happening in the Crypto Academy right now. We have a sale happening. So if you want, it's actually a weekend sale. We're doing a weekend sale over in the Crypto Academy. So you could actually jump over there and take advantage of the sale. It actually ends in 24 hours. But if you want to take advantage of it, you can. So you can head over to the Crypto Academy and get access to the sale while it's still happening. But I mean, it's up to you guys. It's up to you, because it's a miserable situation that we're going to be in. And a lot of you are going to have to deal with Tyrone, because Tyrone is the king of Tent City, and Tyrone is not taking any nonsense. He's not playing any games. When Tyrone is hungry, he's going to eat. When Tyrone is thirsty, he's going to drink. When Tyrone wants some loving, he's going to get some loving, because Tyrone is the king of Tent City, and he's going to rule Tent City with an iron fist. What do you guys think regarding all of this? 90% of men are refusing to live with women. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto.